Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of the brand new campaign mission that was shared to us today through Gamescom for Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm basically going to be going over what I'm feeling as far as Call of Duty Vanguard goes after seeing this gameplay. I'm also going to be talking about a few different gameplay mechanics because those same mechanics will be coming back in some multiplayer, so I do want to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on that as well. And of course, if you have any thoughts of your own that you want to go ahead and share as we have this discussion throughout today's video, feel free to do so in the comment section below. Anyways, let's go ahead and first talk about the visual aspect of this game. And the reason I want to go ahead and do this is because I am a huge fan of amazing graphics. Besides Call of Duty, there's other games out there that have really impressed me as far as graphic fidelity goes, right? So for example, Horizon Forbidden West. This is a game that's going to be coming out later for the PlayStation 5, and not too long ago, they actually shared some gameplay for this game, and when I saw the gameplay, you guys, my mind was blown away. Like, personally speaking, this game looked incredible to me. So yeah, long story short, I love games with amazing graphics. And I gotta give credit where credit is due, Sledgehammer Games did make a beautiful game. Like, when I saw all those leakers within the Call of Duty community talk about how this game's gonna visually look amazing, I could definitely see what they're talking about. And you can definitely tell that Sledgehammer Games took advantage of the engine that was used all the way back in Modern Warfare 2019 because they are reusing that engine. However, I feel like they're also kind of adding more to that engine. Like, for example, the lighting looks so much more amazing on this game versus Modern Warfare 2019. The way the characters move around and stuff like that, it really does feel a lot more realistic, especially when you're comparing it to a game like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And honestly, if you guys have taken a look at this campaign mission yourself, which if you want to go ahead and do so without my commentary in the background, I'll leave a link in the description below to where you guys can check out this campaign mission once again if you haven't seen it already. But towards the second half of the video, you kind of have this environment where the main character Polina that you're playing as is walking through like a base camp of some sort. It takes place during the daytime and it looks absolutely gorgeous, at least once again in my personal opinion. So the environments in this game definitely look amazing, and I have no doubts that the campaign and the story overall is also going to be just as amazing. I mean, when it comes down to Call of Duty, they produce pretty good campaigns, except for maybe Black Ops 3, but that's a whole different story, right? Otherwise, when it comes to their track record for the most part, campaign missions, Call of Duty does a pretty damn good job in my personal opinion. So anyways, moving on to the next topic, I do want to go ahead and talk about some of the gameplay mechanics that were shown off within this campaign mission that was revealed to us. So one gameplay mechanic that I do want to go ahead and talk about is the blind firing mechanic. So if you've been keeping up with the rumors and the leaks, once again, some of the leakers within the Call of Duty community have talked about over on Twitter how there was going to be a blind firing mechanic coming to Call of Duty Vanguard, and that it was going to also be in the multiplayer. So as you guys can see by the gameplay in the background, I'm going to be repeating this clip over and over again so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But basically, when you're walking up to a piece of cover, you have two options. Either mount your weapon, which we'll go ahead and talk about more in a bit, or you can go ahead and blind fire with your weapon. And blind firing is essentially where your player is kind of hidden behind the piece of cover and throws their arm above that cover and starts shooting away without really knowing where they're shooting at. I mean, hence blind firing, right? So when it comes down to this mechanic, I really didn't know what it was going to look like until we got this campaign mission today. But nonetheless, this is what this feature looks like currently in the campaign missions, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work very similar in multiplayer. And all I gotta say is that this is going to be very annoying in modes like hardcore. I mean, imagine, right? Like, you throw your weapon up when you're blind firing, and all you really need to do is land one bullet on your enemy and you'll pretty much take them out. So looking at it from that perspective, it doesn't seem that annoying, right? Because that's an easy kill for you. However, imagine just running into a room where somebody's hiding behind like a piece of cover and decides to blind fire you because they can hear your footsteps or something like that, and you die to a single bullet without barely even able to see the enemy that shot you. I can't even tell you how much players are going to want to rage quit after running into situations like that again and again. Now, I do gotta say that when it comes down to this blind firing mechanic, it does seem like that your player somewhat stands up a little bit, so it's not like you're completely hidden and only your arms will be shown when, you know, blind firing. But at the same exact time, I really need to see this being executed in a multiplayer match to actually see how much the player would actually stand up when blind firing. But if it's a case where, like, let's say they stand up enough to where they're at waist level, right? Like maybe their waist and above is exposed while blind firing, then maybe that wouldn't be so bad. But once again, right, like imagine them being completely hidden behind that piece of cover, popping up real quick, and then once again hiding right behind that same piece of cover right after they do that. That just slows the gameplay down tremendously. It honestly promotes camping, and I really hope that they don't tie this with camo challenges. Like imagine you using like the MP40, right? And one of the camo challenges says that you need to get, I don't know, 50 blind fire kills to unlock this camo or something like that, right? That would be terrible, because the same thing happened in Modern Warfare 2019 where you had to get a certain amount of kills while crouching, which pretty much caused everyone to quote unquote duck walk all over the map and, you know, slow the gameplay down. And there was also camo challenges that told you that you needed to get a certain amount of mounting kills, which once again caused players to want to stay in one single area, or promotes players to stay in one single area of the map and just try to get those mounted kills done for the sake of unlocking gold, diamond, and Damascus. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen again in Vanguard if they tie challenges to this blind firing mechanic. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to figure out why they wanted to add this into multiplayer. I mean, this sounds really cool on campaign, but why the multiplayer, right? Like, what does it really add to the gameplay? And I'm sure you've heard other content creators talk about this who have gone over this topic, but I'll essentially be a broken record and ask the same question because it's a very good question. Like, I don't understand how this can add anything to the gameplay besides creating a lot more frustrating and campy situations than before. But hey, I don't know. Like I said, I have to see this executed in a multiplayer match to get my full thoughts on this gameplay mechanic. But as of right now, I just don't really understand why it needed to be added. Next, let's go ahead and talk about mounting. Now, when it comes down to mounting back in Modern Warfare 2019, the only issue I had with it was, like I already said, it just kind of promoted camping. Otherwise, the actual gameplay mechanic itself wasn't that bad. Like, I've been able to take out enemies who have mounted their weapons against certain objects throughout the maps, and it's not like it was completely impossible to take them out. Yeah, it would be annoying here and there, but it wasn't something that I couldn't deal with, right? However, Call of Duty Vanguard, not only can you mount, but you can also now mount and slide while mounted across a certain object. I mean, I'm assuming it's only going to work horizontally, right? Because I don't know how it would work on vertical objects, but imagine you're hiding behind a piece of cover like a table or a desk of some sort, and you can mount your weapon on there, but now you can slide across horizontally across that desk. And you couldn't do this in Modern Warfare 2019. And the thing with Modern Warfare 2019 was that if you were mounted, you basically had no recoil. But the trade-off to that was that you were stuck in that one position unless you demount your weapon. And that was at least somewhat of a trade-off, right? In Vanguard, you don't have that trade-off anymore. Like, imagine mounting against a piece of cover and then being able to slide across that piece of cover so that you can dodge the bullets coming from your enemies, and you'll still essentially have zero recoil on your weapon. That is just a recipe for disaster in my opinion. Unless if the weapons had recoil while they were mounted in this game, then maybe that could be a trade-off. Like, hey, you can mount your weapon, you can kind of slide across while being mounted, but your weapon will somewhat still have recoil. But then again, if that's the case, then what's the point of mounting? I mean, you see, you guys, like, it creates a lot of confusion. Like, why are these mechanics necessary in this game, and how can you properly deal with them? Like, it just creates unnecessary issues. Can't we just do away with all of these mechanics? On top of that, you guys, we have the destructible environments, which sounds cool on paper, right? However, doors, windows, all of these things are going to be a factor throughout some of these multiplayer maps. So not only do we have doors returning from Modern Warfare 2019, but we also have to deal with windows and pieces of cover that could be destroyed to create new lines of sight. So in a way, a camper could be near these destructible environments and create that new line of sight that you may not know about. I mean, it is cool to have those from a perspective of, hey, you'll continuously have to keep learning these maps and learn these new lines of sight, but in the end, you're sacrificing the flow of gameplay, which, I mean, if that's kind of what they're going for, and if they want to have that slow, gritty, realistic multiplayer shooter experience, then I guess they're doing everything correct, but that's not what Call of Duty is at the end of the day. Like, you could say whatever you want about Black Ops Cold War and how dry this game is, or maybe it's not the best game that you've ever played, but at the end of the day, the way your character moves, the way you can rush in this game, I personally love that. And guess what? If you want to take it slow, you can also do that in Cold War as well. But I feel like in games like Modern Warfare 2019 and the way Vanguard is being set up right now, you as a player are kind of forced to play in this slow, tactical, campy playstyle. Like, it's really hard to rush in these types of games. And once again, I'm not saying that it's impossible to do it, but it's not as easy to do it as you would be able to do in a game like Black Ops Cold War. I don't know. I've always been a rusher. I've always loved to move around the map and being able to move around the map. And sometimes I like to play slow and tactical, but not to the point where I'm mounting my weapons on every single object that I can see and find, or, you know, plant a claymore behind a door and wait until an enemy comes through. Like, no, that's boring to me. But hey, once again, everything I'm sharing in today's video is my personal opinion. With that said, I would love to get your opinions and your thoughts in the comment section below of what you all thought about today's campaign mission that we got through Gamescom for Call of Duty Vanguard. And I also want to get your thoughts on some of these gameplay mechanics and how you feel about them coming to multiplayer. Now, before I close out the video, I do want to give you guys a reminder that tomorrow on August 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 12 p.m. Central time, the alpha will be live for all PlayStation users for Call of Duty Vanguard. I know it sucks that the Xbox and PC players won't be able to get their hands on the alpha because this is a PlayStation exclusivity deal, which I can't believe still exists in the year of 2021. But hey, all you PlayStation users will be able to get your hands on the Vanguard Alpha, which will consist of the brand new game mode known as Champion Hill. And yes, since I do own a PlayStation 5, I will be playing the alpha. I'll give you guys videos on my first impressions of it, what I think about Vanguard as far as the multiplayer goes after I get my hands on the alpha, and just expect a lot more videos coming to this channel about Call of Duty Vanguard overall. And for those of you guys who will be able to play the alpha this weekend, I hope we all have fun. I mean, that's all I can really say. But anyways, you guys, if you enjoyed today's commentary, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll never miss an upload. Follow me on my social media accounts to stay connected. Links will be in the description below. And I'll go ahead and talk to you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves and bye.